I solved Justin Welsh's solopreneur problem. Justin Welsh teaches people to build one-person businesses. No employees, no overhead, maximum freedom. The entire pitch is escape the corporate grind, work for yourself, control your time. And he's built a business model that trades one treadmill for another. By the end of this video, you'll understand why solopreneur model requires constant content production to survive, why stopping means revenue collapses, and why the freedom you're building towards requires you to stay trapped in a different kind of hamster wheel. This isn't about Justin specifically. He's just the most visible example of someone who's built a sophisticated time for money business and marketed as freedom. And that distinction matters. Here's how Justin's model works. You build an audience by producing content. Daily posts on LinkedIn or Twitter, weekly newsletters, threads, insights, value bombs. The content attracts people. Some of them buy your product, courses, templates, communities, coaching. Revenue comes in. You're making money as a solopreneur. It feels like freedom, but here's what's actually happening. You didn't escape trading time for money. You just change what you're trading time for. Instead of trading time for salary, you're trading time for attention. And attention decays the moment you stop producing content. Stop posting for 2 weeks, engagement drops. Algorithm deprioritizes you. New followers stop coming in. Revenue slows. The business doesn't run without you. It runs because of your constant content production. You built a machine that requires daily feeding or it dies. That's not freedom. That's dependency with better aesthetics. Here's the mechanism Justin doesn't emphasize. LinkedIn and Twitter algorithms reward recency and consistency. Your content from yesterday is already invisible. Your content from last week might as well not exist. To stay visible, you have to post constantly, daily, multiple times per day if you want to grow. And the audience expects it now. They're used to seeing you in your feed. If you disappear, they forget you exist. You're not building an asset that compounds. You're renting attention from platforms that resets your visibility every 24 hours. Compare this to actual compounding businesses. A SaaS product works for customers whether you post on Twitter or not. A real estate property generates rent whether you're creating content or not. A book keeps selling whether you're visible on LinkedIn or not. But a personal brand business built on content, it only works when you're producing content. You built a job with no boss, but it's still a job. And it's one you can never take a break from without revenue consequences. Here's what Justin teaches. Scale to 1 million, 2 million, $3 million as a solopreneur. No team required. And technically, it's possible. He's done it. Others have done it. But here's what it actually looks like. To scale revenue without a team, you have to increase either price per customer, harder to sell, smaller market, number of customers, support burden, more content required, passive product sales, requires even more content to drive traffic. Every path to higher revenue requires more from you. More content to reach more people, more engagement to maintain relationships, more product creation to have more things to sell. More support even for passive products because nothing is truly passive at scale. That business scales. Your time commitment scales with it. You're making more money. You're also working more. And the moment you work less, revenue drops. That's linear scaling with better margins, not exponential scaling, not passive income, not freedom. It's a high income job where you're both the worker and the manager. Here's another pattern in Justin's model. Your products need constant updating or they become irrelevant. A course you created 2 years ago The examples are dated. The tactics don't work the same way. The market evolved, so you update it, or you create a new course, or you add a new product line. You can't just create once and sell forever because the knowledge economy moves fast and your audience expects current information. This means you're on a perpetual product refresh cycle. Update existing products, time cost, create new products, time cost, market those products, time cost through content. You're never done building, you're always in production mode. Compare this to businesses with durable content. A plumber's skills compounds over decades. A manufacturer's equipment keeps producing. A landlord's property doesn't need refreshing every 2 years. But digital knowledge products, they depreciate fast, and you have to keep replacing them with updated versions. That's not compounding. That's maintenance disguised as growth. Here's what's actually happening. Justin built a business model that's optimized for one person, but not optimized for freedom. The solopreneur model works as a business. You can make good money. You control your time in a sense that no boss tells you what to do. But you don't control whether you need to work because the business requires constant content production to sustain revenue. The model is produce content, build attention, convert attention, maintain attention, repeat. If any step stops, the whole thing collapses. You're not building leverage that outlast your effort. You're building a system where your effort is the leverage. And the freedom pitch is you can work from anywhere, set your own hours, be your own boss. But the reality is you have to produce content constantly, engage daily, and never fully disconnect, or your revenue drops. That's better than a corporate job for some people. It's more aligned with their skills. They enjoy the work more. But it's not freedom, it's autonomy. And those are different things. Freedom is the business runs without you. Autonomy is you choose how you work, but you still have to work. Justin teaches autonomy. He markets it as freedom. So, what do you do about this? You can't solve time for attention problems with better content strategies. You can't fix dependency on constant production with more efficient posting schedules. You can't escape the treadmill by running faster on it. Justin's model works for him because he's exceptional at content, has massive distribution already, and genuinely enjoys the game. But most people following his model don't have those advantages. They're grinding content daily, trying to build the audience, burning out while they chase the freedom they were promised. The solopreneur model isn't wrong. It's just not what people think it was. It's not passive income. It's not freedom. It's not an escape from work. It's a high income job where you're the product, the platform requires constant feeding, and stopping means the revenue stops. You can keep building your personal brand business and wondering why it feels like you're working more than you did in corporate. Or you can acknowledge that trading time for salary and trading time for attention are both time for money models. One just has better marketing. Most people won't acknowledge this because they invested too much into the solopreneur freedom narrative to admit that it's still a job. But at least you know why you can't take a vacation without watching your engagement metrics drop. It's not that you're doing it wrong. It's that the model requires constant presence, and that constant presence isn't freedom. It's just a treadmill with a better view.